Chapter 4. Let's fucking have dinner, motherfuckers. I scream until I turn purple, like a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. And those words are exactly what everyone hears, too. Let's eat some Thanksgiving dinner and celebrate the Native Americans, fucking the Oliver Cromwellers, the good old peaceful Christian Puritans who were raped and murdered by savage pagans. I'm an atheist, by the way. My mom is Jewish and my dad was raised Catholic, but is now atheist. Though we have totally different first names. I'm like Gerardo Rivera, Jewish, Puerto Rican, and as atheist as anything. Or am I atheist? There's no atheists in foxholes after all, and my life is one big foxhole where we're murdering the innocent in the trenches and firing our Gatling guns to kill all the motherfuckers and cuckolds. Fox on the run, the fox on the hound. Robin Hood was a fox. And just so you know, when I was saying my mom is Jewish, I meant that she sort of practices the Jewish religion, though her father and mother were both West Indian mulatto Protestant preachers who committed suicide before she was born. We can all sit down, George, but we should wait for some of the things to cool down. Don't curse like that, too. It's not appropriate. My mom says, but she means that she thinks I'm a car and not a person. She must have thought I was a Chevy Camaro, to be exact. But it could also have been a Toyota Camry, one exactly like that of Hakeem, the Uber driver from East Africa. Perhaps even the same exact one. Maybe it's a Ford F-150. Maybe George Ramirez is a Ford F-150 because his father sure is sometimes. Or at least maybe his father drives one as he gets drunk and drunk drives into the sunset. Life is all about drunk driving in some ways, taking risks and having fun while endangering yourself and others. I'm good with that, as long as the cranberries are there. If they're not there, I swear I will literally kill you all. I say, but they hear. I'm good with that, as long as the cranberries are there. If they're not there, I swear I will kill you all figuratively, as per a metaphor. Like allegorically kill you all, as a way of expressing myself. We all go to sit at the dining room table, skipping along a magical highway of flying cars and spaceships, as we trek for 40 days in the desert, looking for the promised land away from the couches and appetizers. I sit in the exact same spot at the table as Joe, occupy the exact same physical space, because we both go to sit in the same chair at the far corner. A copy of him is also in another chair, however, near his girlfriend, at the other corner of the table. There's all sorts of food on the table, some of it on open platters, and some of it covered in foil. It smells like a garbage dump in the morning as the sun hits it on a very high humidity summer day. So horrible and revolting that I literally throw up everywhere. Like everywhere, all over the table and inside of everyone's ear sockets too. Excessively, to the point that they all die from the projectile vomit smashing their brains. Thanksgiving is evil. There's a lot of food here, says Willie, Rose's psychopathic boyfriend, who seems to tolerate the fact that Rose is a cocksucker, possibly because she sucks his cock, since she owns quite a few suckable roosters in the magical farm she lives on. A very serious farm. No, shit, Sherlock, I say. What do you think this is? Chopped liver? Actually, I did make some chopped liver, my mother says, as she brings in a big bowl filled with cranberry sauce. It's on the corner right next to where Joe's at. It's delicious. You should actually try it with the biscuits, but I also brought some French bread too. Give me the cranberry sauce, you animal, I say to my mom, as I become aroused and intoxicated by the devastatingly orgasmic mystique and aroma of the cranberry sauce she's holding. Clutched in her hands like a child molester holds a pot or pan made out of cast iron. You're a horrible ogre, Beowulf, Grendel, Dane, Anglo-Saxon bitch. A cuckold, pussy liberal motherfucking lunatic mom. Miss Annie, Miss Washman Ramirez, Esquire. Yup, indeed, Mom. Fuck you. You're a troll. Stop trolling us. You should see a psychiatrist. You're mentally ill. You're totally broken. You're not a full right person who can be trusted. Chemicals and other neurological neuron stuff are wrong in your brain. You need to be given medication before you can be trusted on account of defects in your neurological brain stuff, and you can't possibly have the insight to know otherwise. Atheism is correct. There is no soul. It's all just brain organ, atheist, no soul, no afterlife, and people can totally break chemically, and no spirituality and poetry. Just chemistry. I smack her fur-covered crap tentacles and grab the bowl containing the cranberry sauce, which is only a little bit hot and definitely not able to scald a human being, and then I dunk my head into it and try to eat as much of the heavenly, sexual cranberry sauce as I can. I start tearing my clothes off with passive-aggressive might and jump on the Thanksgiving dining room table, which is a cold metal launch pad of a devastating nuclear weapon aimed right at Russia. I kick dishes and pots and pans onto the floor and at the walls and at the ceiling, apologizing to them since they actually have souls and true consciousness and are built in God's image. But on some level, I just don't give a fuck what they think. I tear off all my clothes and I scream and gargle. I spit everywhere and take as much cranberry sauce as I can and erotically and sensually smear it on top of my naked body, in particular trying to get in my ears and eyes and in my belly button, which is filled with years worth of lint from my many polo shirts that I wear to work. People don't realize that this is my sexual orientation. I am cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is me. I am one with it, and any energy or attraction people feel towards the same or opposite gender, I feel towards this fruit. I'm the opposite of a faggot. All those faggot heterosexual cocksucking animals. You are all a bunch of mentally ill, psychotic motherfuckers. I shouted at everyone else in the house while smearing my naked body in cranberry sauce and engaging more generally in malicious actions that I do not regret at all, since Thanksgiving is a mentally ill holiday of genocide against innocent, peaceful Puritan pilgrims by savage Native American cocksuckers who desire to scalp the universe and all nice people within it, in particular per an interdimensional conspiracy. You need to see a doctor to fix your broken brains and their imbalanced brain chemistry. I am the only sane person here, and you are discriminating against my sexual orientation. I am sexually oriented towards cranberries and cranberry sauce, and people who think otherwise are mentally ill on account of genetic physical defect in their brain. People who don't agree with me must have a physical disease in their brain organ. All the psychiatrists who used to think homosexuality was a disease before they moved it from the diagnostic manual are mentally ill. Thinking homosexuality is a mental illness is actually itself a mental illness traceable to brain chemistry defect from birth. Anyone who has ever thought homosexuality was a mental illness at any point in their life is actually diseased and insane due to neurological defect transmitted via their genes. Their genes, and to help protect homosexuals in the future, we should probably send these people to Auschwitz, to the ovens, so that they can die and have a meaningless, permanent afterlife of zero experience forever. Heaven is for pots and pans. Only pots and motherfucking pans. I'm going to call 911, says Melinda in a bored manner. "What the fuck are you doing, George?" asks Rose lovingly. "Are you nuts?" "Joe, you in particular are responsible for all the pain and suffering in the Syrian civil war and..." Aleppo, like Gary Johnson? You're responsible for all those monsters attacking and eating the kids in Aleppo and turning their tears into shoe polish for my awesome shoes. You are a bad person. You in particular are the reason for the Middle East issues. I ought to kill you, I say calmly as I lunge toward Joe. Lunge towards Joe. Lunge towards Joe. Lunge towards Joe. Nails drawn like the claws of a T-Rex, with blood in my eyes. Blood and also a little bit of bloodlust, too. The turkey is still sitting on the table, carved quite nicely on a beautiful steel platter my mom had gotten as a gift from my aunt for her birthday a year or two ago. I have kicked so many pieces of food off the table and ruined and destroyed so much. But the turkey remains untouched, the horrible tasting, revolting evil turkey. It must have been special. Perhaps it was imbued with hate or love like a voodoo doll, like a voodoo doll, like a voodoo doll. Perhaps the love or hate or some obscene, overpowering property of this disgusting, carved, mangled, fit for beggars to use as kindling for a fire to burn dead bodies. Turkey is stopping me from obliterating it. But then I think it should disappear, and then it does magically. My father, whose name is Alberto Ramirez, never really hosts holidays in the way my mom, whose name is Annie Washman Ramirez, does. He just never cares much for holiday celebrations and such, except maybe an occasional low-key Christmas get-together. He can sometimes host more out of a desire for company than any kind of Yuletide spirit. And there's definitely also an element of trying to spite his Jewish ex-wife in that, hosting Christmas parties while not even believing in Jesus. In general, though, he says that you ought to treat every day like it were any other day, and be good to anybody on any particular day. But I don't believe him. Holidays are an evil, horrible time I have to destroy because they celebrate genocide. Thanksgiving celebrates the genocide of the Pilgrims, which is such a horrendous, nightmarish thing. I am the destroyer and monstrous ruiner of absurd family affairs. Joe, you are responsible for the genocide of the Pilgrims by the savage Native Americans, too. You are the reason they celebrate Thanksgiving. You fucking cocksucker. It's all your fault, which is something we cannot forgive. Not now, or ever, 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 ever. Not now, or ever. Joe.